Hey Cards fans, Barry K with Cards for Daze. Totally different setup tonight. We've got a headset instead of my Yeti mic, and you guys can see my face. But tonight we are drafting our fantasy football teams for the Cards for Daze Fantasy Football League. Hopefully everybody's doing well. Hopefully we'll see the guys and we can all hang out while we're doing this. So I'm going to start out by saying I am not a very good fantasy football player. I was going to retire from fantasy football after just some rough stretches of years, but the need to beat Dwight is making me do this. So let me know if you guys can hear me. You can see me. Would love to get some feedback because this is the first time we've done this setup. Like, my audio keeps redding out. Don't know what that means, but we'll see. So we've got 12 minutes to kill. The draft starts at 10:30. Hopefully people will log on and we can hang out. So Dwight, you're here. He said, "Where's Lego?" I know that's my nickname, but you want Lego. We got Lego right there. All right. So let's see here. Cool. So I just now realized you guys are going to see my screen and you can see the pick. So if I'm hovering over players, like looking ahead, you guys are going to be able to see kind of what I'm looking at. So I'm going to try to do this without like looking around. I'm just going to wait until my pick to make it, because even though this is just for fun, I don't want you guys to win. I don't want to lose. That's really what it is. So let's see how many we got in here. One viewer, is that right? We need more viewers than that. Ah, here we go. I also don't know what kind of delay there's going to be. Probably going to be pretty significant, but that's okay. That means there'll be no cheating. As long as my research is like, 15 to 20 seconds tops, like I can go look and then go back, then I should be good. Dwight, what are you drinking tonight? I've got coffee, just to make sure I've got as much caffeine going through my bloodstream for this draft. I also read, Dwight, that you just sent 162 cards in for grading. Is it like a huge range of sport type, like football, basketball, and baseball, or was it a lot of something? I really do need to grade some cards if I plan on selling them, but that process just does not sound like fun at all. Double espresso. Alright, so who was it, Dwight, that said they've never played fantasy before? Was it Chafin? Somebody was asking in the chat. Michael P. is nervous. You guys can probably see that in the bottom right. One golf. No tennis cards, though. I don't know if you guys saw that on Topps.com. That box of tennis cards. $500. Crazy. We need to get Michael P. in the YouTube chat. Let's see if we can get some guys in the stream here. I do need to get StreamYards though, so that we can have multiple people. Oh, there's Pooh Rose. Michael P. I thought Chatty P would be in here as well. He was telling me I needed to rip cards while we wait. So I was looking around like, what in the world would I rip? I only have Heritage from 2021. Fat packs of Heritage. I bought so much of that stuff last year. Like, after the pandemic, when it was hard to find cards, I just overbought Heritage. And it's just crap. Just crap. So Dwight had about 60% baseball, 30% football, and 8% basketball. 2% golf. Always the 2% playing golf. So I'm in one other league. I retired from one league I was in, but my work league, I went ahead and did it again. It's an auction style draft, so it's not like you're picking them in rounds. It's just how much money are you going to bid on. And I ended up getting McCaffrey in that one. Spent big money to get Christian McCaffrey. I think with pick 8 tonight, I'm really going to be struggling on a strategy because I haven't done a snake draft all year. No mock drafts or anything because I've just done the one league and it's an auction. But right now I'm kind of looking at what running backs are going to be available for pick 8. And then pick 13 is literally going to drive the rest of my draft. So if there's any good running backs left for pick 13, then I'll take them. But if there's a run on running backs and it's only wide receivers left, then I'll have to look at that. That's kind of where I'm at. But what I'm not happy about is pick whatever the hell is after pick 13. You know, basically 2 rounds later, the running backs that are available in that realm, like 33 or whatever, could be rough. So this year's work league auction went pretty good. Like, there were not people that were getting crazy steals. Like, everybody went about what they were going for. I think so. 65 is what I paid for McCaffrey with a $200 budget. So, I mean, definitely that was tied. That was the exact same price that Jonathan Taylor went for. So definitely didn't overpay. Top pick type pick. Michael P. says he doesn't know what he's doing. So Michael P., if this is your first draft, you don't want to overreach on certain positions. There are certain positions that are very deep, like quarterback. So you don't want to pick a quarterback early. It's all about picking the right value for where you are in the draft. You know, if somebody's ranked at number 100, you don't want to be drafting them at the 50th pick, obviously. You want to wait until you're getting good value for your pick. Don't pick a kicker. Don't pick a defense until the very end. That's just the general advice for a first-timer. Because it's highly unpredictable on those kickers and defense, and you're losing value by picking those at any time other than at the very end of the draft. So there's Derek. Derek, how's it going? My camera is up, and so I'm going to be looking down a bunch. Hopefully you guys don't think I'm avoiding you, but we got 6 minutes till the draft. I don't even want to open... because Chatty P's not here, but I don't even want to open fat packs. He was joking we should open something here, but I have so much of this crap in that I just need to throw away. You know, the commons of Heritage. But I'll open a pack for Chatty P, even though he's not watching. Alright, James Palmer left the draft, joined the draft. Okay, so Joe H. just joined the draft. Joe is my coworker. BE are bench slots. So anyway, say hi to Joe H. He's filling in for our last spot. He's kind of a fantasy, he loves playing fantasy football. So when I asked you want to join another league, he was like, heck yeah. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and open this fat pack. It's going to be garbage. They are. They just are. And we're going to... I don't even know how I'm going to show them off here, but... John Lester. I mean, you can already tell it's a great pack. Jacob Junis, Acuna. I do like that Acuna. Here, let me show that. It's just a great... Reminds me of his rookie. but in terms of value, there's not much going on here. Martin Perez, Marco Gonzalez, Kenley Jansen. We do have a rookie stars card. I think that's really the best you can hope for out of these. These fat packs were just junk. Kershaw, Herman Marquez, rookies. I'm sorry, Rockies. I did that before. It's a Rockies card. Alonso, Wilmer Flores, Luis Robert Gold Cup. Again, these cards look fine. In fact, I actually like these designs better than this year's, but Austin Riley. You know, you get good names, but it's a set builder set. That's it. I mean, these fat packs, they're good for giveaways. That's all. I've given so many of these away, and I still have more. So I'll probably just keep giving them away. But I don't have stuff. I have 2 orders from Topps coming in. I got some Topps 3D blasters and 3 hobby boxes of Topps Fire. So I love Topps Fire, and I picked up 3 hobby boxes so that we can do a break. That's what we got coming up. All right, we got 3 minutes left. 2:35 actually for the draft. Hopefully everybody gets on soon. We got picks 1 and 2. Looks like Chafin. Is Chafin going to get Christian McCaffrey? Don't no one draft my players. Alright. So Dwight Clark is already starting to play the mind games. Clark Sports Cards. He's a pro at this, so he's going to try to convince us to not pick certain players. Now that I've got this set up, I'm thinking maybe I should start doing some Twitch streaming. Right? I feel like a streamer. I'm also drinking the Keller Hayes IPA, Sun King, out of Indianapolis. Wayne is on the clock. All right. Oh, Chafin has picked 10. I just need a green screen in the background. Ironically, I hung up my diploma down here during COVID when we were working from home, and I was working out of my card cave. I threw that back there for like business meetings so that it looked all professional. But what they couldn't see off screen was just like the shit show that is over here, which is where I break cards and stuff. That's the mat. I've been taking apart Lego sets. That's why there's Legos everywhere. But there's my scale for packing up stuff. But it's a shit show right now. I usually do that when I'm in between breaks. All right. We got 5 seconds, and then we're going. The Jackhammers. The Carolina Jackhammers. Is that Dwight? I didn't look what everybody named their teams. The Carolina Jackhammers. And then the Swinging Richards. Michael P. is picking 3rd. Team H, I'm guessing, is Joe. Multiple Scoregasms. Kentucky Thunder. Cali Pack Daddy. The Card Cave Daze. I just named that so you guys would know who I was. The Green Bay Bananas and Team Rollins is going to be picking the snake. So Clark is Scoregasms. So Wayne. All right. Is Wayne going to pick Jonathan Taylor with the auto pick? I think that's might be what's going to happen. And the scoregasm, so Dwight's pick 5. Here we go. So Jonathan Taylor going first. Michael P's done. He's out. It's BS. Derek, where are you drafting? I don't know your team name. Kentucky Thunder, pick 6 probably, is my guess for Derek. I don't want to talk draft strategy because you guys are listening in, and if you know what I plan on doing, that could affect things, so I'm going to maybe talk about it after we can do a recap. Alright, we got Richards on the clock. And Michael P was trying to get all the Colts, and then literally the first pick in his whole draft strategy is just thrown out the window in pick 1. Alright, where's the Maker's Mark? Oh yeah, Maker's Mark right here. That's right. It's right here. Getting a little low. And I even got into my backup stash. I almost always have some Maker's Mark upstairs in the cabinet with all the other alcohol, but... Oh, NC Sports guy is trying to get logged into the ESPN app. Well, luckily he's drafting first, so it's hard to go wrong with that pick of Jonathan Taylor. So Derrick Henry went second. Sorry, Austin Eckler went third. And McCaffrey. Joe H, I know, likes Christian McCaffrey. Hopefully that does not throw Clark Sports Cards strategy out the window. But McCaffrey going 4th. Pretty good pick there. So now the question is, do you go wide receivers? Or do you go running back? That's really where Clark Sports Cards is having to go. And he goes with Najee Harris. Which honestly was who I was hoping to get at 8. I'm not going to lie. Joe Mixon. So we do have a running back run. That would have been awesome, but with Joe sitting there, Joe H, I knew would take him. He was the one that bid me up in the work league. So, Aaron Jones, the first reach of the night. So the question I've got here, and there's a little delay, is do I take Dalvin Cook at 10, or do I go for Cooper Kupp, who has fallen to me all the way at 8. So, potentially the 3rd ranked player. That's rough. I do like Justin Jefferson also. This is the question, guys. Well, let's do it. Taking the Kupp. I was really going back and forth between Justin Jefferson and Cooper Kupp. I'll probably regret it. I probably should have gone Jefferson. Lost sound. Alright. Check 1, 2. You probably lost sound because I stopped talking I had my my thinking volume going on. Well, there was a run on running back, so that's why I did what I did. Okay, so here I'm definitely taking a running back, and the running back that I was kind of looking at for pick 13 is still here, so I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette. I picked him over Kamara just because, you know, you got the chance for suspension for Kamara. I'd rather just avoid that and go for Fournette, who's going to be awesome. That was my thinking. There's Debo, nice pick there. So we're at pick, what, 15? So we're at pick 15, and I don't have a pick until 28. So there's going to be a lot of good players coming off the board here. So on the clock, oh, it's pick 16. We got Clark Sports Cards, thinking things through. Goes with Kamara. He'll take the gamble with the huge upside of Kamara. All right, still a run on running backs. James Conner goes. Michael P. now has a decision to make. You can see Michael P. has Austin Eckler, so he's got his running back. So does he get a top wide receiver, or does he just lock in another running back? He's actually in a good spot right here. I would say there's a couple upper tier running backs left before the drop off. He goes top wide receiver. All right. So Wayne is now up, who got the first pick. And James says he got Stephon Diggs and Jefferson. So right there you can see Justin Jefferson and Stephon Diggs. Bye week 7 for both of them, but I don't usually look at the bye weeks when I'm drafting. Just get the best players. I don't know if you guys worry about that. So the Carolina Jackhammers are up. Took Nick Chubb. And Travis Kelce locking in their top pick for tight end. So some people like taking that top tier tight end. It's like having an extra wide receiver. So Josh Allen went really quick. C.D. Lamb. Mark Andrews, a little tight end run. And this is where it gets interesting. So the question that's going to come up, so let's see what Dwight's looking at. He's got his running backs locked in. So is now the time he's thinking, do I jump after a top wide receiver? No. He goes Mahomes. So there's probably a ton of depth at wide receiver is what he's thinking. So he chose to go quarterback there. So Mike Evans comes off the board. I am on deck. We got Pack Daddy 84 up right now. So I got some thinking to do here. Got some thinking to do. Aaron Rodgers. I'm noticing a Green Bay run here of Aaron Jones and Aaron Rodgers. Alright guys, so I think what we'll do is we'll go ahead and take another top wide receiver. I threw my running back thing out the window, which I feel comfortable with. Just because of who's available. And I like having just top wide receivers. So Ezekiel Elliott. For example, he is somebody that is on my don't draft list. His production every year for the past 5 years has gone down. So, 5 years in a row of decreased productivity, to me, I was going to avoid Zeke. Even if he fell, I was just going to stay away. So, DeAndre Swift and DJ Moore come off the board. Bananas is on the clock. And Keenan Allen went, which is good. Because I'm going to pick Cam Akers here. Now I have a wide receiver and a running back on the same team, which I'm not a huge fan of, but there's a drop-off, in my opinion, after Cam Akers for running back. So I'm definitely going to pick him up. And we'll see. If the team does well, then I don't know, I should be pretty good. So because there's a long run here, if you're looking at quarterbacks, Herbert, Jackson, Murray, Hurts, Prescott, Brady, those are guys are all still on the clock. For running back, I was just talking about the drop-off. To me, we're in this second tier or third tier, whatever you want to call it, class. Wide receiver has moved pretty consistently with the draft. Kyle Pitts went, and now there's Justin Herbert. There's a few top-tier tight ends left, and then obviously nobody's gone defense or kicker. So good job, gentlemen. So Dwight is saying he's just got to go. So Dwight has Mahomes, Harris, and Kamara. Very solid first 3 picks, right? So the question is going to be, where does Dwight go after this? He's got his running backs locked in. My guess is he's going to go wide receiver. There is a lot of depth there. But based on this list, it's really just, does he take Michael Pittman Jr. just to piss Michael P. off? That's the question. Sit up straight. All right. And James says his wide receiver is the best. All right. So Dwight takes Breece Hall, and Joe takes David Montgomery. Now Joe is a big Bears fan, so that doesn't surprise me. But Joe, oof, David Montgomery, really? Michael Pittman Jr. goes to Michael P. So he did get his Colt, and Darren Waller goes to Swinging Richards. So tight end run is about done for the top guys. In fact, with Kittle being questionable, it's probably done. Quarterback run going on here. And look at this. I'm just looking at the ESPN projected standings. I don't know if you guys can actually see the numbers on the YouTube, but Lamar Jackson projected to get fewer points than Jalen Hurts. That is crazy. Even though there's 20 spots between them for draft. But we're got a run here of Mike Williams, wide receiver, T. Higgins, and then Tom Brady. Michael P. with the odd Tom Brady pick for a guy from Indiana. Goes Colt and then Brady. I don't know what the fellow Hoosiers will think of that. So I need to start paying attention because my pick is coming up. But luckily Dwight takes his time, and I respect that. Joe takes Lamar Jackson. That doesn't surprise me. And I've got some thinking to do. There is a flex spot, so running back or wide receiver. So after you get 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers, you still have that flex spot. And I can't hover over these things like Jalen Waddle. What's going on here? If I pop that up. I don't know. It's just news, but it's not really news. It's like ESPN, everything. It's not actually news, it's just talk. Alright, A.J. Brown. So I got 2 picks until me. Josh Jacobs goes, and then Terry McLaurin. And it is to me, guys. So I've got some decisions to make because got some decisions to make. Let's do this for this pick. Let's go with Jalen Hurts. It's a little early, in my opinion, to be drafting a quarterback in this range. Because, I mean, look at, there's 3 fantasy points, 320, 300, 301, 293. Like, this clump of quarterbacks is all about the same. But we're going to go there. I think I can pick up who I'm looking for in this range on pick 53. Big Daddy has Kamara, Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Justin Herbert. There's Dameon Pierce, who is getting rave reviews in his preseason. So maybe some running back value there. And let's see. If you believe the ranking, we're at pick 50, and there are some, Cortland Sutton at pick 35. The reason I think he's sticking around is people just aren't sure if Russell Wilson is going to be legit or not. But, the guy produced last year without Russell Wilson. He had 776 yards last year. To me, that 2 touchdown number is what's going to change the most, which is why he's expected to have a nice big jump. But maybe people are staying away because of the unknown. Etienne Jr. goes to Team Rollins. Honestly, that was who I was looking at for my next pick. But that's okay because I have a backup if that one... Now, if Bananas picks the next player on my list, I'm going to be frustrated. So the whole reason that I picked Jalen Hurts when I did is because I felt confident that one of the guys I was looking for that I wanted in this area was going to be available. So let's see. Bananas currently has Zeke, Dameon Pierce, Jefferson, Diggs, and Allen. So, oh my God. And he did take Elijah Mitchell, who I wanted Etienne or Mitchell. This is what sucks. All right, now I don't know. I'm just going to come right out and say those were the 2 guys that I thought would fall to me, and they did not fall at all. And I just think there's a drop in running back. But you know what? I definitely want a running back here because I have a long way to go until my pick comes back around. So we're going to go Sanders. And again, I'm doubling up on like very few teams. So I've got Hurts and Sanders. And then I got 2 Rams players. So for those that are following, here's my team so far. Jalen Hurts, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, and Miles Sanders. Let me know what you guys think up to this time. Now we're going to be hitting bench spots. I obviously haven't drafted my tight end. I'm just going to wait. We got Gabe Davis. Very nice. I mean, explosive Buffalo offense. He definitely won in on those explosive. I'm a little nervous about my Rams, having Akers and Cooper Kupp. I might come back to wish I'd gotten Jefferson instead, but look at that. Week 7. That is a bye week for whoever I'm playing. Look at that. Week 7. Oak as fan 24. You are right. But I did preface my draft by saying I don't look at bye weeks. If I have to take that one loss in week 7, so be it. I want a team that I, like rooting for. If that makes sense. I will have tough. Let's see if anybody else has any rough bye weeks. Here we got 3 week 7s, a couple 8s, a couple 9s. You're right. Nobody does bye week debacle like Cards for Days. 4. Look at that. I have 2 weeks with buys. Or 2. Shut up here. Week 7 and week 11 are the only bye weeks I have so far. All right, Michael P. wanted George Kittle, and he's frustrated, and that is what makes fantasy drafts so much fun, is when somebody steals that player. But yeah, James said he picked Mitchell because the ETN got taken. I think Mitchell is a great pick, though. Potentially even better than ETN. Okay, Dalton Schultz goes to Michael P. Deontay Johnson goes to Swing Richards. I've got him in my work league. We got a run here. I'm on St. Brown, Michael Carter, and Jalen Waddle. So a little run there. Wide receivers, Chris Godwin goes to Joe. Joe is definitely a high-risk, high-reward kind of fantasy football player. So injury concerns or anything like that, they don't scare him. He wants the ceiling as high as possible. His theory is if you get 2 or 3 players that get 30 points or 40 points, you win. Like, it doesn't matter what the rest of your team does. So he goes for that super high upside. And yeah, Dwight, I agree on Kittle. I paid a lot for him after his big year. And he got injured, and that was rough. That's the one thing about auction drafts, is you're saving your money to buy certain players. And if you spend a lot on somebody, it's like picking them early in a snake draft. So I probably overpaid for him back then. But man, when he was good, he was good. I'm trying to pay attention now because I need to see who's coming up. I almost want to take DK Metcalf just because he has bye week 11, or Devin Singletary with bye week 7, right? Just own the bye weeks. Chatty P, Michael P did get all the Reds players, and I even opened up cards. You said to open up cards before the draft, and we did, and it was amazing because this product is so amazing. DK Metcalf. Dwight took him just to ruin my bye week thing. I said I don't look at bye weeks, and now I'm going to draft my whole team around them. So Hunter Renfrow goes. Okay. So I'm scrolling down, kind of looking ahead to see which players show up. All right. So I think I want to go running back here. I think I do. Just kind of looking ahead of who might be, coming back around to me. And potentially some of these wide receivers that I like will fall to me as well. So let's go. It's a tough one. We're going to go Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Draft him. That breaks my bye week thing, but as funny as it was, I should probably try to make sure I have a team playing on week 7. So, alright, so Russell Wilson goes to the Green Bay Bananas. Let's look at their team. They have Wilson, Elliott, Damian Pierce, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Keenan Allen, and Mitchell is on their bench. No tight end yet, but that's okay. I don't have one either. So Chafin is up. Chafin is trying to decide, do I go for a quarterback? Do I go for a tight end? There's really a clump of quarterbacks right in here still available. Chatty P wants to know who got Rodgers. Well, if you look at the Cali Pack Daddy, got Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Saquon Barkley, McLaurin, Adam Thielen, Kyle Pitts, not Kyle, yeah, and Hunter Renfrow. Joe Burrow. So we were chatting there, but Chafin does get the quarterback. And now it's really just picking the best players, I think. Just about everybody has their main, like, quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers. At this point, tight ends, I think, or if you don't have one, then you don't have one. In fact, if you were curious, let me pull up tight ends of who's left, right? So you can see the drop-off. Pick 98, 99, 132. There's just a drop-off there. You can pick up your tight ends whenever. All right. So Chafin, who's he going to follow up with? Curious why you guys think some of these wide receivers, that are ranked 46th, 48th, 51, and we're in pick 73. So Chafin picks Juju Smith-Schuster. I do like that pick. Mahomes has to throw the ball to somebody. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. I picked him up in my other league, and I'm going to go... Oh, man, Jerry Jeudy at 1... He is still on the board, but I'm going to go Brandon Cooks. I picked him up in the work league, and my theory is he's amazing. He's still talented. And if they get down, they're going to be throwing it. So I will take Brandon Cooks. That might be a pick from 3 or 4 years ago, but he was good to me when I've had him on my team before. So I don't know if you guys are that way, like you have players that have done well for you in the past, so you find that you are picking them up even a little beyond their prime. To me, LaDainian Tomlinson was like that. I almost always got him when he was kicking butt, and then I kind of kept getting him, He was just somebody I loved having on my team. I have also players that I won't draft. They burn you once, and you just never again will I draft you. Sammy Watkins comes to mind as somebody who I would draft, and then they would do nothing. Ugh. Sammy Watkins. Joe remembers, right? Joe remembers. All right, so I was chatting, but Jerry Jeudy went off the board, and Elijah Moore, both good picks. I would have taken any of those. did not even think to check Brandon Cooks' bye week, but there we go. It's not 7 or 11, so we're good. So I've got 10 picks, 12, let's see, so now 11 picks until my next pick. We got Antonio Gibson, Allen Robinson. I don't want to jinx myself, but there's probably going to be a run on running backs here is what I think is going to happen. Yeah, that's what's going to happen. See, I shouldn't open my mouth because now you guys can hear that, but way before my pick is coming up. But that's my guess of what's going to happen here. I don't think anybody has picked 2 quarterbacks yet. Sometimes you get somebody that wants their, a backup quarterback fairly early, and you guys are kicking butt, not falling into that trap. So Singletary goes. I'm just going to look at my team real quick and trying to decide if there's people that I need to be handicapping, and I don't really think I have anybody. So, for example, my work league where I have, McCaffrey, I also have J.K. Dobbins, and I picked up their backups. If you've got injury concerns or injury history, I don't feel like I've got anybody on my team that I need to worry about yet, which means they're going to get injured since I'm not worrying about it. All right, I'm actually looking at Joe, so I know Joe very well. I'm trying to imagine who he is going to pick up on his pick 84. And I have a theory, but I don't want to jinx it or tip people off. But looking at Joe's team, he's got Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, James Conner, Cortland Sutton, Chris Godwin, Mark Andrews, and David Montgomery. Ten-team leagues are my favorite by far because you have a good team. You're not playing scrubs, really. 8-team leagues I don't enjoy as much because you feel like you're leaving good talent on the bench. I think 10 teams is the right number. 12 is rough. So I actually enjoy the 10-team the most. And Joe goes with Ramondre Stevenson. Not what I was expecting, but we can talk about that later. And Dwight is on the clock, so let's look in Dwight's team. He's got Mahomes, Harris, Kamara, Brown, Metcalf, Kittle, Breece Hall, and Antonio Gibson. So his first bench spot is running back. He's got running back in his flex, so he's at 4 running backs. I'm at 4. Yeah, so there are teams with 3 running backs. A.J. Dillon goes off the board. Kareem Hunt. So here's that little running back run. And Melvin Gordon. Alright, So I figured there would be a run of running backs from the time that I said, oh, there's probably going to be a run. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a row were just taken, which is pretty much what I expected. But here we're going to go with somebody that I think is just going to have a great year, Brandon Ayuk. I think he's going to be like mini Deebo Samuel. So that's just a heart pick right there. I got no indication that that's going to happen, but the other player that I would have picked up there, I can talk about in a second. But I'm actually thinking. I'm doing some thinking. What is all these questionables? Yeah. I was just reading this. Raheem Mostert, I thought he was on the practice squad. I thought he got demoted. He went to Purdue, by the way. Alan Lazard is a cool pick here, if I didn't already have so many wide receivers. Alright, so I missed Romeo Dubs, Cordero Patterson, and DeAndre Hopkins. I think Cordero is probably the last starting running back on the board, maybe? So after this point, we're looking at backups and handcuffs. So Bananas is on the clock. Solid team. A little frustrated that he picked Cole Kmet when he did. I don't even think I acknowledged the pick because that's usually who I've been picking late in the rounds. Naheem Harris goes on the board, so now I'm up. And here we're going to go total, just like potential. So I'm going to pick Tony Pollard. So my hate for Zeke, and it's not really hate, but his production keeps going down and down. I'm going to take Pollard in the hopes that Zeke gets injured or something happens, and I'm just going to take Pollard. So apologies to whoever, well, to Pack Daddy, if you were expecting to back up Zeke. But I went with him as just potential starter talent. Dawson Knox goes. Matthew Stafford goes. Let's see, does everybody have a quarterback? Just looking through here. I think so by this point, yes. I could have just gone to quarterbacks here and looked. So everybody's got their quarterback. Let's see, does everybody have a tight end? I think so. Yes. Nope. Chafin and I are holding out on tight ends. So there you can see the available tight ends. At this point, it's, whatever. I often will... There'll be people getting backup tight ends before I take my first tight end. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt me. Alright, Chase Edmonds off the board. And there's Dak. I would say Dak, probably the last top-tier quarterback that was available. Goes to Michael P. So Michael P is the first to get a backup quarterback, I think. Which makes sense. He's got the 50-year-old Tom Brady, so makes sense. And I shouldn't say he's 50. He's younger than I am. Alright, Jack Hammers is up. This is where it gets interesting now. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 picks left. So it's really taking best players. Sorry, I need to put all positions. It's really about getting the best players and filling out your team. If you've got any, weaknesses or potential injuries, you just want to make sure you've got those covered. Or like in my case, I've got some bye week issues. James, I have no idea who Romeo Dubs is. I'm not going to lie. I was planning on retiring from fantasy football, so I did not do a bunch of research. Rashad Bateman. Going to Michael P. Christian Kirk. That's an interesting pick I like. I don't like when they have questionable. There we go. An unknown health concern sat out due to an ankle injury. Never a good sign. Let's see. So people looking for their backup quarterbacks. That is who we are looking at now. Interesting. Interesting. There's still plenty of good wide receiver talent. That's why a lot of people wait on wide receiver, because it's just so deep. I mean, Lazard, for example, could be a upper tier wide receiver. Tyler Lockett. I mean, I know he doesn't have Wilson throwing to him, but I mean, that guy is incredible, and he's still available here. So, and I'm going to get quiet here because my pick is coming up. Chase Claypool goes. Exactly, James. Exactly. And Derek Carr goes. So I am going to pick a quarterback because I think there's going to be a potential run of quarterbacks for backups. And I'm going to go Tua, guys. I'm going to pick Tua over Trevor Lawrence. I just think if he's going to have a great year, it's going to be this year. So I'd rather get him now than get him the year after his big year. That's my thought. It also pairs Tua up with Tyreek Hill, so I've got a couple quarterback wide receiver combos, which I like. Well, not a couple. That is the only wide receiver quarterback combo I've got. Ah, the kicker. Cincinnati kicker, Evan McPherson. What did we say about drafting kickers? Do it at the end. It's hard, though. Like, when you look at your starting lineup and you see empty spots, it's hard to not pick them. So, James, are you going to go Alan Lazard, or does that ankle injury bother you or worry you at all? It's very interesting to look at the upcoming positions, and running back, it really drops off. After these, there's 3 people, and then it's just boom, nothingness. So if you haven't gotten your running back, now's the time. DJ Chark. Boy. There are just no tight ends that I'm excited about. None at all. Let's look at my team here. So I could go James Robinson, and I actually think I'm going to at this point. So there's just a huge drop-off in running back, and if ETN does not, if he gets injured or doesn't live up to the hype, then better to have that. Okay, so Dubes was the top wide receiver. Not Lazard. Got it. Is Lazard the dude that Aaron Rodgers was yelling at, or was he just running at the entire camp? I've listened to enough sports talk to know that story. So I've got one empty bench spot, and then I've got tight ends, kickers, and defense to contend with. Let me know what you think. Does that make sense for me at this point? We got Raheem Mostert, Justin Tucker. Tucker, isn't he the highest paid kicker now? Didn't he just redo his contract this year? I think I remember reading that. All right. Dwight is on the clock. There's a lot riding on this pick for Dwight. He's taking his time. How is it that he's got 4 bench spots? And I've got 1. He is, because he's got a tight end and a kicker. That explains it. He's yelling at all the wide receivers. I don't think I've ever had Rodgers on my fantasy team. I'm trying to think. I don't think I ever have. All right, Marquise Valdez-Scantling going to Dwight. Joe gets Tyler Lockett. So, again, you're just going for just raw talent. And now Zach Ertz. Career was on the downswing. Yeah. Calf issue. Never good. And Zach Ertz has hurt me in the past. I wouldn't pick him. Hunter Henry, another guy who had amazing seasons and then just... But he is a Patriot now. And the one thing that we know about Patriots tight ends, they kill it. Kill it. Too soon. Daniel Carlson, kicker. Pat Freiermuth goes off the board. So my tight end prospects they're hurting. And there's Zach Ertz, the Packers defense. There we go. Love it. Tyler Bass, or Bass. Going for the Homer Indy pick. Or no, that's Buffalo. That is Buffalo. All right, Joe on the clock. All right, Lazard finally goes off the board. And now, you mad bro? Score gasms. That's an interesting avatar, you mad bro. I think my avatar, I don't know if you guys can see it. Probably not, it's so small. That's more of a scoregasm right there. We have 9 viewers on this not baseball card or any sport card related video. That's pretty funny. Everybody's quiet because they're either drinking because they know that Dwight's going to win automatically just based on his draft. And that was a backup defense. So Dwight is going to block us all by drafting defenses for the rest of his draft. Interesting strategy. Well, you can only play one. You can only play one. I'm just kidding. But you never know who's going to be the top defense fantasy wise. Like, it changes every year. It's crazy. All right. So Derek takes Hunter Henry. So I just don't get a tight end, basically, is how that's going to work out. There's still some options. All right. So here we go. Do we take best player, best available player? Do we lock in a tight end, which is probably a reach at this point, but I think I probably should, because let's face it, I do need to start a tight end. And we will go with... We'll go with Irv Smith Jr. Missed 2020 with a knee injury. Injury. He's apparently ready to play. That makes me... Let's just go with Njoku. I don't like the hasn't played, was out for a year. I'll take the quarterback controversy in Cleveland. Just stick somebody in there and dump it to the tight end all day. So, not happy that I would have rather have had Hunter Henry, honestly. But Derek took him. In fact, Derek probably has Hawkinson, Detroit, right? And Hunter Henry, so he got his backup tight end before I got my first. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So let's go back to all positions. We are getting down there, guys. I've still got a bench spot and my defense and my kicker. For those of you interested in it, these are the defenses available, kickers available. So position kickers 7, 8, 9, 10. No, that's bye week. But it should tell you the player position. Oh, I don't know what I just did. The Bucks defense goes to Chafin. For those looking for running backs, that's what you're looking at. Wide receivers, there's going to be plenty. Yeah, like all these defenses, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There are 9 defenses that are all in the 100 to 120 range in scoring for the year. So it's like kickers are kind of the same way, right? 147, 145, 139, 140, like 130 to 140 at this point, it's all the same. So I'm feeling good about waiting on kickers and defense. Chargers defense goes. Sometimes I just like picking kickers or defense based on teams I like to root for. So Ryan Tannehill just goes. And for my last bench spot, I am going to go quarterback and get a 4th quarterback. Just to be a jerk like Dwight and pick up to stop other people from getting them. So the question is, who do I grab? I'm going to let Matt Ryan sit there. I know somebody who might want him. So Jameis Winston is an interesting choice here. And I was going to go Trevor Lawrence, but he's bye week 11. And if you look at my team, I got Tua in week 11. So if I go Trevor Lawrence, then I'm potentially out if there's some injury issue. I don't... Let's just go with the homer pick and go Justin Fields. Get somebody on the Bears. So there we go. I've got 4 quarterbacks. I'm sorry, not 4. 3 quarterbacks. 4 would be insane. So the rest of my draft is pretty easy because I've just got to pick a defense and a kicker. And to me, they're interchangeable at this point. And I think there's plenty of good kickers left. Defenses are just impossible to really know. Alright, so Michael P. does get the Colts defense. So Michael P. is all in. I mean, as much as can be on the Colts. Ooh, Jack Hammers gets Zamir White. And I actually like, that is a good pick because Josh Jacobs, I've been reading, is not looking great and potentially has that running back role slipping out from under him, so that's a good pick. Cowboys defense, James Cook, Matt Ryan, Michael P. going all in. We gotta look at Michael P.'s team. Tom Brady, Austin Eckler, Javonte Williams, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman Jr., so Colt, Schultz, Brown, Colts defense. He did not get the Colts kicker, but Matt Ryan. He's going with the 3 quarterback also. The Browns defense goes to Joe. So Joe is also getting the defense kicker run there. Alright, so it is up to me. And here we're just going to go more homer pick. My family's actually from Pittsburgh, so we're going to go Steelers here. Just because I like the team. And now, the only thing I have left to get is a kicker. Baker Mayfield off the board to Chafin. Harrison Butt Kicker. Those are 2 nice picks. And he left the draft. Chafin's like, I'm out of here. So now I've got my choices for kicker. Robbie Gould is the homer pick. I just like Robbie Gould. Do I pick him just because I like him? It really, I mean, it doesn't matter. I'm just picking the kicker I like the best. Nick Folk. Yeah. In New England, or I can go with Denver with McManus for the altitude issue, but I think Nick Folk might have more opportunities to kick field goals. Don't know. I'm holding up this draft so I can pick a kicker, and it really doesn't matter. Alright, so let's see here. I'm going to let this one run out. I'm going to let this run out. Who am I picking? Ezekiel Elliott. Robbie Gould, I just like, but we'll go Nick Folk. Alright, because it doesn't matter. Alright, the teams are going to clock. It's going to... See, we got McKissick, Greg Joseph, kicking in the dome. That was something I was thinking about. Dwight has to pick a kicker, and he's gonna eat it up too. He's gonna take the whole clock. Let's see who Dwight picks. And James says he wins. How do I look at the different teams once it's gone up here? I don't know. Frank says, thanks for coming, fellas. Send your checks in now if you'd like. This is going to be fun. You guys are all smack talkers, and that's the one thing that I wish my work league, everybody's nice. There's no smack talk at all, so that's kind of one of the reasons I created this league. You guys will let us have it, and that's what I'm looking for. Dwight picks suck up. Got Jake Elliott, Tyler Boyd, Alexander Madison. And who is the last pick of the draft? Jack Hammers is going to milk it. He needs just a bench spot, so he can pick anybody here. He's got Cousins as a backup, maybe quarterback. He's got a backup tight end. And it was Robbie Anderson, wide receiver. All right. So we can go to my team here. So we'll do a recap of who I got, and then if you guys want, we can look at other people's teams. But I did get Jalen Hurts, Leonard Fournette, Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, Tyreek Hill, Njoku, Miles Sanders, the Steelers defense, Nick Folk. I'm very happy with my team. Could I have gotten a higher running back? Yes. But give me Cooper Kupp and Tyreek Hill all day long. And then my backups. Again, I'm very happy. 10-team league, everybody should be happy with their team. But I'm feeling very good about my team. Weakness, obviously tight end, right? You can see here. So if I would have gotten a tight end early, I'd be looking at 10 points projected, but instead I'm at 5. So there's some serious, there's a serious hole at tight end. So let's just go through everybody's rosters. Is that what I go to? There we go. So that was my team. Next we got Kentucky Thunder. So he's got Justin Herbert, Joe Mixon. All right, so Dwight says, I'm ranking number 1 in every position. We'll get to Dwight's team. Swinging Richards. And by the way, I get circles like this when I use 2 screens. So, really weird. Yeah, it's back. Okay, so Josh Allen, Derrick Henry, Devin Singletary, Devontae Adams, T. Higgins, Waller, Johnson. So I think everybody's got solid teams. I guess my concern with that team would be running back depth if you need it, but if you don't need it, great. All right, Michael P. First time he's ever done fantasy football. Let's see how he did. Tom Brady, I felt like he drafted a little early, like a lot early. But if you think he's the greatest and is going to produce, then you've got to go for it. But I think he could have gotten him 3 rounds later. Eckler, Javonte Adams, CeeDee Lamb, Michael Pittman. No complaints in there. Tight end. I'm just curious. I'm just curious what that pick is projected to get versus mine, and I picked him so much later. Michael P. thinks Tom's going to be big again, so that's why you pick him. I think I had him on my team last year. Michael P. definitely picked some homer picks for the Colts, but still a good, solid, well-rounded team. No holes in my mind. The Jackhammers, Kyler Murray, Jonathan Taylor, Nick Chubb. I mean, boosh, boosh, boosh. Mike Williams, boosh. I mean, solid picks. Travis Kelce. Not gonna lie, that's a great looking team. That's a good looking team. All right, Pack Daddy. Homer picks coming up. Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, Barkley. Very solid there. McLaurin and Thielen. So a little bit weaker in wide receiver, potentially. But Kyle Pitts, top tight end. Renfro, solid flex player. Saints Tucker. But good bench. So if I think he's a little weak at wide receiver, there's depth here that I'm comfortable with. Jerry Jeudy, for example, you could just insert in. So really nice team. Green Bay Bananas. Russell Wilson, Zeke, Dameon Pierce, Justin Jefferson, Stephon Diggs, Cole Kmet. That pick frustrated me. Keenan Allen, amazing flex. The only thing that concerns me on this team is running back. But that's because I'm so low on Zeke. Dameon Pierce, good upside, but if he doesn't live up to that hype, then that's a potential issue there, in my opinion. But we'll see. We'll play it out. Dwight. Okay, so Dwight says he has number ones in every position. So let's see if he's true. Mahomes, obviously. Najee Harris, obviously. Kamara, yeah, if he plays the whole season, boom, solid. A.J. Brown, solid. DK Metcalf, I think a lot of people question whether he can keep the numbers up because of who's throwing him the ball. George Kittle, not number one, Dwight. I'm just going to say it. That guy's going to get hurt or he's not going to play. Breece Hall, again, he's a rookie, right? I just don't know. But, if you're going to have weaknesses in any position, give me weaknesses in tight end and flex, right? So up here, extremely solid in my opinion. So Rollins has Burrow, Cook, Swift, Chase, Moore, Gesicki, Dobbins. Okay, so let's just start. Obviously, rock solid top 5 picks. I actually can't. I think Chafin, to me, that's a solid starting 5. Starting 5 looks great. The Dobbins pick, if he actually plays and lives up to his potential, that's a great pick. I have him in my work league, so hopefully you've got somebody to fill in, in case he doesn't play, and you do with ETN. So some nice upside bench spots. Like it. And then Team H, Joe, maybe we should get him in the text group or create a fantasy football chat group so that we don't inundate the card guys with fantasy talk. But Lamar Jackson, McCaffrey, Connor, Cortland Sutton, Robinson, Mark Andrews. So, again, look at that. Running backs and quarterbacks. Lots of running. Wide receiver maybe a little weak, but Mark Andrews is amazing. Solid team by Joe. Solid team by Joe. I would take Joe's team over mine. I would maybe take Chafin's team over mine. Eesh. That might be it. I'm pretty happy. A solid B. Whoever said that, was it James? Solid B. I don't know if that was just a play on my name, but I'm happy with my team. Yeah, we'll make a fantasy group. Fantasy football group. I don't want that confused with my fantasy chat group. Just kidding. Alright, guys. So that's it. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. It's almost midnight. That went longer than I expected. But had a great time. Hopefully you thought this was fun to have me in your ear. Oh, look at projections. Like the week 1 projections? Or do they do like the league projections? Let me know if there's a different spot that has A++ rating. So here is just week 1 projections. I'm facing off against the Green Bay Bananas. Totally going to win that one. Season projections. Anybody know where that is? Right there. Where was it? That was player projections. Yeah. League home schedule. Is there a league projection, season projections? Fantasy cast, maybe? No, that's going to be the in standing. All right. All right. I think we're back. Sorry about the circles. When I do two screens, my computer hates it. But here are final standing projections, but does it give any number? So there you go. That is the potential place. It has me in 8th place, which is probably, that is where I will finish. Just letting you guys know. So, all right, we're going to call it, guys. Thanks for hanging out, everybody. We'll let you go. You guys, good luck on your fantasy teams if you're in other leagues. And maybe we'll make a chat group so we can all talk smack throughout the week. Good seeing everybody. We'll see you guys soon. Take care.